Good evening, St. Petersburg, and welcome to the Channel 5 Eyewitness News. My name is Carly Anderson, and here are your top stories. The Bolsheviks have taken over the Winter Palace from the Provisional Government. They raided the palace this evening, and according to Bolshevik leaders, they've officially taken control. Now, over to Kelsey for live coverage.
Thank you, Carly. I'm here in front of the Winter Palace in Petrograd, Russia, where the war between the Provisional Government and the Bolsheviks has broken out. However, this fight was clearly bound to happen. The Provisional Government simply pushed the Russian people to extreme measures. The Bolsheviks have finally decided to take measures into their own hands and fight for their rights. The leader of this group, Vladimir Lenin, has continually pushed for communism to spread throughout the country and take over. It is, after all, what the majority of the Russian people wanted. They felt their needs and rights would be protected by communism. This fighting has been going on for 6 days so far, and victory for the Bolsheviks is looking very promising at this point. Oh, wait, here he comes now, the leader of it all, the mastermind behind this whole step in the revolution towards getting rights and for everyone in Russia. Let's see what he has to say about this moment in history. Lenin, can I have a second of your time?
Sure.
Okay. What is your opinion about everything that has happened over the past 6 days?
Well, I feel that it is one of the largest, most important steps we have taken as a country to create a government that will satisfy the needs of the people.
Do you feel as though all of this change could have taken place without drastic measures such as a battle?
Absolutely not. War and extreme actions are needed to get our point across. The provisional government would have still held on to their failing ways unless we took action.
Well, I wish you the best of luck in finishing off this revolt and getting rights for everyone.
Thanks, Kelsey. I'll do my best to represent the people.
Thanks, Lenin. Now, Carly, you've seen everything that's happening in the battlefield so far. Now back to you.
Thanks, Kelsey, for the exclusive interview to Eyewitness News with none other than Vladimir Lenin, Bolshevik leader. Now, over to Alex for This Week in Sports.
What an upset that happened earlier today, Carly. The Bolsheviks managed to take advantage of the provisional government in the upset of a lifetime. The Bolsheviks could take this one all the way and convert the whole country to communism. This is truly incredible. Led by the famous Vladimir Lenin, the Bolsheviks crashed through the provisional government's defense and took over. However, it's unclear exactly why this occurred. Did the offense have an exceptional attack and succeed purely because of their leader's anticipation, planning, and great play calling? Or did they succeed solely because of the failure in the provisional government? Many avid sports analysts argue that the Bolsheviks did in fact have great timing and determination. Many days of street fighting were needed before the Bolsheviks could make any progress at all. They had to fight, and many were killed. Without their hard work, sacrifice, and determination, none of the revolution could have been possible. Also, Vladimir Lenin supported a very centralized group of experienced revolutionaries, rather than bringing in many rookie fighters, which proved to work out for him. On the other hand, there are many people who argue that the Bolsheviks only succeeded because the provisional government was anti-clutch, and their defense fell apart when it was needed the most. Many people believe that the provisional government had stopped caring for their people's needs, and that the people were sick of it. If the provisional government had taken better care of its people, then they would not have been as willing to help the Bolsheviks with the revolution. Also, the provisional government counted on many soldiers that they should not have. Most of their army that was in charge of defending the all-important Winter Palace was composed of unreliable soldiers. These soldiers simply let the Bolsheviks waltz right into the palace. The provisional government's leader, Alexander Kerensky, needed blocking, and the defensive line let the offense by without even putting up a fight. I wouldn't have trusted them to protect me, that's for sure. That's all we have for sports. Back to you, Carly.
Thanks, Alex, for that competitive edge. I'm sure that it's going to be a competitive hunt for all those fur coats and hats tonight. It's going to be a chilly one. Here's Connor for the scoop.
Thanks. Now, ever since the last big movement of fronts, we have been experiencing a high-pressure system. But have no fear, this old pressure system is beginning to change, and you know what that means. Rain. As you can see from this demo reading of the movements of bodies of air in the area, Russia will be experiencing some pretty crazy weather. Now, the last big storm we've had was in February when the Provisional Government Front moved in and replaced the high barometric state, known as the Tsar state, which we were in for quite some time. But now, this Provisional Government Front is beginning to fade and some new fronts are entering. As you can see here, a Bolshevik front is invading Petrograd. However, the provisional government front isn't budging, which is conflicting the powers into a stationary front. This will continue for several days, but the provisional government front is near its end. On the bright side, it looks like snow will have to wait this year because Russia is heating up. This increase in temperature, along with the increase of barometric pressure, will bring in some nasty cumulonimbus clouds and possibly tornadoes across the southeastern portions of Russia. This map shows the incoming precipitation we are expecting. As you can see, rain is covering almost all of Russia, so don't forget your umbrella and goulashes this week. So for this week's forecast, expect dark clouds, heavy rain, and floods across the streets because it's going to be one heck of a change for Russia. But this is expected to stop by the end of the week. I'm Dave Nevershine, and this is your weekly forecast. Back to you, Carly.
We better make sure to watch out for this high pressure system. High tensions are sure to be on the rise. Well, that's all for tonight, St. Petersburg. Shut your windows, lock your doors, hide your kids, hide your wife, and have a great night. I'm Carly Anderson. Good night.